There's one number that separates the people who drown in debt from the people who get rich off it. And here's the strange part. It's not the size of the loan. It's not the interest rate. Two people can take out the exact same loan at the exact same rate on the exact same day, and one of them ends up buried while the other ends up wealthier than when they started. Same loan, same interest rate, completely opposite result. The difference is one number. By the end of this video, you'll know what that number is, and you'll be able to run it on your own situation. Because debt isn't the problem. Using it like you're broke is the problem. My name is Nathan, and I spend way too much time thinking about how debt controls so much in our lives. Please show support for the channel and hit the subscribe button. It really helps, and it means a lot. Forget everything you've been told about debt for a second. At its core, a loan is nothing more complicated than renting money. You borrow a sum, you pay a fee for the time you hold it, and you give it back. That fee is the interest rate. That's the rent. So the only question that actually matters is this. When you take that rented money and put it to work, does it earn more than the rent costs? If the money you borrowed earns 7% and the rent on it is 4%, you just kept the difference. 3% on money that was never yours. That gap has a name. It's called the spread. And the spread is the entire game. Here's where it gets interesting. And here's the one number. Your return on your own money equals the spread multiplied by how many dollars you control for every dollar of your own that you put in. Read that again. The spread is one part. The leverage, how many borrowed dollars you stack on top of yours, is the other. Multiply them and you get the only number that actually matters, the return on your own cash. A rich person doesn't see a loan and think, how do I pay this back as fast as possible? They think, what is the spread and how many dollars can I control with it? Same loan you're looking at. Completely different question. And throughout this video, I'm going to keep coming back to this one number, because every strategy you're about to see is just this equation with different inputs plugged in. One more thing before we start. A few of these you can run yourself today with the money you already have. The others, you can't, at least not yet. And I'll be straight with you about which is which as we go. I'm not going to pretend a billionaire's tax strategy is something you can do on a Tuesday afternoon, but you need to see all of it, because the small versions only make sense once you've seen the big ones. Let's start with the oldest trick there is. It's called trade credit, and almost every product business on earth runs on it. Say you want to sell phone cases. The basic version is that you order a shipment, pay with your own cash up front, wait weeks for it to arrive, and then sell. But that's the version where your money is tied up in a box of inventory for months. The smarter version is that you never pay up front. Suppliers will hand you the goods on terms, net 30, net 60, net 90. You get the inventory now and pay for it later. They're lending you the product. They're acting as your bank, and the inventory is the loan. Now, run the one number on it. You sell the phone cases before the bill is even due. You collect the cash from your customers, pay the supplier, and keep the difference. So what was your own cash in this deal? Nothing. Zero. You controlled an entire shipment with none of your own money, which means your leverage isn't 5-to-1 or 10-to-1. It's infinite because you're dividing by zero of your own dollars. The spread was small, just your markup per unit, but multiplied by infinite leverage, the return on your own cash is enormous. That's why the ability to sell is one of the most valuable skills on earth. The seller didn't need money, they needed terms. This one's accessible right now. A supplier who gives you 30 days, a customer deposit that funds the job before you've spent anything, a 0% intro card that floats your stock. Same mechanism, smaller scale. Number 2 is real estate. And this is where most finance channels get the math wrong. You find a property that costs $500,000. It's in rough shape. Nobody wants it, which is exactly why it's cheap. You put 20% down. That's $100,000. You take a mortgage for the other 400,000. Then you spend 50,000 fixing it up. At this point, your own money in the deal is 100,000 down plus 50,000 in work. 150,000 of your cash is sitting in this house. Now the property's fixed up and people actually want to live in it. The market value rises to 700,000. You refinance, pulling out a new loan at 80% of the new value. That's 560,000. You use that to pay off your original 400,000 mortgage, and you walk away with 160,000 in cash. Here's the part other channels get wrong. They'll tell you that 160 minus your 50 in renovation equals 110,000 in profit. That's not what happened. You put 150,000 of your own cash in. You just pulled 160,000 back out. You got every dollar of your own money back, plus a little extra, and you still own a $700,000 property with roughly 140,000 in equity that you can now rent out. Run the one number. How much of your own cash is left in this deal? 0. You took it all back. So what's your return on your own money? You're not dividing by 150,000 anymore. We're dividing by nothing. That's an infinite return. And it's the real reason investors are obsessed with this strategy. It's not the profit. It's that you recycled your entire down payment and kept the asset. Now, let me be honest about the catch. Your new loan is bigger. You went from owing 400,000 to owing 560, and at today's rates, that's a much bigger monthly payment. On top of that, refinancing costs you another 2 to 5% in closing costs. The whole thing only works if the rent covers that bigger payment with room left over. The trick was never the refinance. The trick is finding a property that actually pays for itself after all of it. That's the hard part, and that's the part nobody sells you a course on. Now here's the thing I want you to walk away with. Look back at the one number. The spread is what the money earns minus what it costs. Most people obsess over the earning side. People who build real wealth obsess over the cost side. Because your interest rate is a number you can negotiate down, and every point you knock off goes straight into your spread. Your credit score is the biggest lever on what your money costs. The difference between a fair score and a great one can be several percentage points on every loan you take. On a mortgage, a car, a business line of credit, those points compound into hundreds of thousands of dollars over time. The wealthy don't have access to some secret bank. They have access to cheaper money because they made themselves cheap to lend to. And that's something everyone watching can work on starting today. So, here's the whole thing in one line. Debt is rented money. The only question that's ever mattered is whether what you do with it earns more than the rent. Get that one equation on the right side, and debt stops being the thing that owns you and becomes the thing you own. If this video helped you, share it with a friend or two. Please show your support and subscribe to the channel. It really helps, and it means a lot.